A teenager hijacks a TWA jet with more than 80 aboard in a bid to win freedom for a man in federal prison. What is hoped will be the final round of SALT talks began today in Geneva.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, with Tom Jarrell in Washington substituting for Frank Reynolds, Peter Jennings in London, Barbara Walters, who is on assignment, and Max Robinson in Chicago.
Good evening. A teenage girl is holding more than 80 people hostage aboard a TWA jetliner in an effort to free a convict from a federal prison in Marion, Illinois. The DC-9 is on the ground at a small airport near the prison. On board are the hostages and Robin Oswald, who claims to have 3 sticks of dynamite strapped to her body. The plane was hijacked this morning. It had taken off from St. Louis en route to Kansas City when it turned back and landed at Marion. The woman wants to free Garrett Trapnell, who is serving a life term for 1972 skyjacking. Her mother, Barbara Oswald, was killed last May while trying to free the same man. The mother had hijacked a helicopter which was killed by the pilot. At this moment, no one has been hurt in the drama. 5 people, including some children, have been released from the plane, but very little is known regarding the negotiations between Miss Oswald and the FBI. Her sister and a brother were brought to the Williamson County Airport by federal marshals. The prison is about 85 miles from St. Louis, where the girl lives. Trapnell was not in prison when the breakout effort began. He was at a nearby courtroom, standing trial on escape charges on the May attempt in which Miss Oswald's mother was killed. Who is Garrett Trapnell that 2 women, mother and daughter, would risk their lives in an effort to free him from the nation's most secure federal prison? Well, he's a man of great intensity who has led a life of crime. Ron Miller had a lengthy interview with Trapnell in October, and Trapnell didn't hide his hunger to escape.
No, I'm not saying I'm going to get out. No, that's insanity. You know, only a fool would say I'm going to make it. I'm going to do my best to make it.
Garrett Trapnell offered that promise, warning to ABC News 8 weeks ago during an interview at the Marion Federal Penitentiary, the modern-day Alcatraz, home for 420 of this country's most dangerous criminals. He was sent to Marion after being sentenced to life in prison for the 1972 hijacking of another TWA aircraft. Trapnell was shot during the final moments of that drama, in which he demanded the release from prison of Angela Davis. In May of this year, this helicopter was used in an attempt to break Trapnell out of the Marion facility. 43-year-old Barbara Ann Oswald, the mother of 5 children, was shot and killed during a mid-air struggle with a pilot. It is one of her daughters who today tried to gain Trapnell's release.
Escaping from prison is as Americana as apple pie. But I don't think there's an American in this country that if he was put in a hole for 2 and 3 years at a time would accept it. And any man who does accept it for 10 years or 15 years is worthless to society when he's released.
In the fall, Trapnell sent a letter to the president threatening a nuclear disaster in New York if he and 5 others were not released from Marion. His attempt for freedom failed again.
If I had made it in that helicopter, this is the irony of this whole situation. If we had made it in that helicopter, ABC would have sold more footage that night than the next 2 or 3 days. You know it and I know it, because the American public loves it.
Trapnell defended himself against a possible death sentence for the unsuccessful escape in May. The jury began deliberations in that case today. Trapnell has been examined by almost 40 psychiatrists during his 20 years as a playboy, bank robber, and jewel thief. Virtually every doctor found him insane, but each time Trapnell was sent to a mental hospital, he was soon released as cured, a free man, leading to a book about his life entitled The Fox is Crazy Too. Ron Miller, ABC News, reporting.
FBI agents in the control tower at the airport in Marion, Illinois, are still negotiating with Robin Oswald, while more than 80 people remain hostage in the TWA jetliner on the ground below.
World News Tonight, brought to you by Vicks Formula 44 Cough Mixture. It's got the strongest cough suppressant you can buy without a prescription.